Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just going to have a general conversation, ask a couple questions, try to figure out if my experience was. I know there's no such thing as normal. Normal changes based off of geography and tradition, so something that can be ever changing couldn't be considered as normal, so we won't go there. But I wonder how different my upbringing was than other people's, the values and the things that I was taught. I don't know if it's a country thing. Part of moving to the country is privacy. Another thing for privacy is also secrecy, though. So some people just want to be left alone, and other people do things that they don't want other people to know about. And that's what the draw of moving to the country is you're doing shit you don't want other people to know about. That's a good portion. I get that. Before marijuana was illegal, a lot of people that were actually city and town people loved to live out in the country because who's going to complain? You can grow whatever you want to. Thankfully, that's just legal now. But I don't know if it's normal. I don't think it is. I'm 40 and I have some suspicions now. Like, my situation was, it was always an us versus them dynamic. We weren't a part of the normal crowd. We were considered different. And the way that we could get power and an advantage over regular people in regular society was by holding secrets. And I also grew up in an environment where assumptions were real. If you had a couple supporting facts that pointed towards something, towards a conclusion, but you didn't actually know that for a fact, you would consider it a fact. So, say your neighbor got a new job and they had to leave at 2 o'clock every morning. They wouldn't be assuming that the neighbor's going to a new job. The assumption would be that they're cheating on their spouse. It wasn't a love your neighbor situation. Every neighbor was always an enemy. It was always a privacy situation. And I just got raised to believe that there was something different about me than other people, that we were different, that it was an us versus them mentality. And I didn't start realizing until I was in my 40s that I'm just a human. We're all humans. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I don't care if you're incarcerated. I don't care if you're handicapped. We're all basically living the same experience. If you view like movie stars and politicians and other people like that as being different than you or above you, do you know how limiting that can be? You're putting a limit on yourself from the jump, saying that I could never be that because they're made from a different mold. Nah, it's just all us. There is no them. So some of the themes that I was just raised on are really weird. You know what I mean? And I have emotional problems and I have mental health problems. They're well documented. I got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder when I was 13 years old, and they were allowed to give the diagnosis. So, but what I have noticed is sometimes to gain the world, you have to lose what you thought you needed most. When I was becoming an outcast, my first out actually with my family is my cousin Janelle had a wedding, and it got decided that I wasn't allowed to go to the wedding because I could be problematic because I was having problems with my brother. But there's no situation where I was ever problematic at any other functions. So I knew that was the beginning of the end with my family, and I was just so against it. I had been to prison, I had been around other cultures, I had been around other races. I see how other people participate in family functions in society, and then I got to see the way mine did, and my God, they're just so different. Like other people have traditions, other people have pride of who they were, and they're integrated with society, and they try to make things better. And my situation was, let's just keep things secret, play the cards close to the chest, and the element of secrecy is how they would get ahead. Not not bad mouthing anyone either. That was reality for me. I didn't know it was any different. I didn't really start picking up on how limited like my heritage was and stuff until I was getting locked up, and then all these cultures that were made fun of, like dirty Puerto Ricans and black people are this and black people that, and then I get locked up and black people are dirty, and then I get locked up and I notice, oh my God, they have way better grooming practices than we have. When I got explained that like you need to use a wash rag or a washcloth, I realized, no, we're kind of the race that would have issues with cleanliness. When's the last time you saw a black person with busted sneakers? But whatever. I'm not like crying about anything. It's just I want my daughter to realize that it's not them and us. It's just us. We're all humans. We all have the same constraints. We all live with the same physics. There is no dynamic of we are different. So, in order to gain the world, I had to lose a couple people. I'm all right with that. I donate time with my community. I'm fully successful. I do have an agency that helps with a couple hundred of my rent. But other than that, I pay my insurance. I pay my national grid on time. All my bills are paid on time. I dedicate my own personal time to helping organizations in the town. I give back to my community. That's something that was never modeled in front of me once in my entire life, but yet I do it. I understand the importance of loving your neighbor and having community with them and helping each other out and just being able to go to Walmart and feel like I'm among my people and not feel I had such terrible social anxiety my whole life. And I realized because that's the way life was modeled in front of me. It was us versus them. It's just us. I guess I'll cut this short. One of the biggest things that I have to do in my life, I need to get through to my daughter because it's not being modeled to her, that it's just us. We're all humans. We all live under the same constraints. There's no difference between Donald Trump and a prisoner sitting in prison right now. They just took different paths. They both had the same potential. I want Allison to be a human. I want her to be among the human race. I want her to have 8 billion people. I won't focus on 3 or 4. I want her to have the world. And I guess that's the end of my conversation. There's no us and them, guys. It's just us. Have a good night, folks.